From small beginnings in the 1940s, building engines for bicycles, Honda has grown into a diverse manufacturing giant whose name is synonymous with quality. This film is a brief overview of our discussion on the Honda effect. Hello, I'm Brant Nelson. Honda entered the U.S. market in the late 1950s and introduced its small motorcycle, the Super Cub, which was already a huge hit in Japan. That was not the original plan, however, as Soichiro Honda and his partner, Takeo Fujisawa, anticipated a different market. They planned to sell the larger 250 and 350cc models to their new American customers. They quickly learned that the market had something else in mind. Our first question was centered around strategy. What was the strategy, and what were the primary challenges that Honda faced as it entered the U.S. market? Bill Shonow was the first to offer insight. Honda had multiple challenges as it entered into the U.S. market. The first was the Super Cub, Honda's bestseller back in Japan, had little appeal for the American consumer. The motorcycle market in the U.S. was small in comparison with Japan. The U.S. market had established companies with large market shares. Harley-Davidson, Indian Triumph, and Moto Guzzi were among the leaders. Barbara Guy added, Honda's primary challenge when entering the U.S. market was being short of cash. Honda Motor Company at the time was a young, 10 years of age, and was seeking to expand into America. The funding to achieve this endeavor needed to be obtained from the Ministry of Finance. The Ministry of Finance approved the project with modifications to the initial request. 5 months later, an American Honda was created. Lisa Harris shared with us that there was no real strategy. She stated, I do not believe Honda had a strategy as they entered the U.S. market, at least not a strategy in the way Americans define it. They simply saw the opportunity to expand by taking a portion of the market share enjoyed by European importers. Decisions made, including initial targets and models to market, had little to do with anything other than guesswork. Dongxing Guo reminded us all that even the Honda executive said, in truth, we had no strategy other than the idea of seeing if we could sell something in the United States. Next, I steered the team a bit off topic and asked the team's thoughts regarding successful entrepreneurs and their colorful personalities. Our article spoke about the antics of Mr. Honda and his eccentric behavior. The team engaged in quite a bit of banter regarding other well-known billionaire eccentrics, including Bill Gates and Larry Ellison. Amanda Barnes shared with us, I believe the vibrant personalities of some business leaders definitely has something to do with their success. People like this tend to like to get things done and hire people who also feel this way. Look at Apple. Steve Jobs was a little off and out there, but turned Apple into the multi-billion-dollar business it is today. Maybe their keys to success are being passionate, not necessarily being a great leader or example. I quickly found that this subject was not as off target as I originally thought. All the team members chimed in about leadership and how uncommon behavior was, in fact, common among wildly successful leaders. Dongxing explained this more clearly. What is the left or right of the center? Even what is the center? The center in the great person's eyes might be the left or right of the center in the common person's eyes. I'd like to say different view, different center. Honda came into the American market with a plan to sell some motorcycles and nothing else. They found that the consumers here were, in fact, more interested in their smaller bikes. This was not anticipated. The Honda effect, in short, is the ability to modify strategy and adapt to the environment. This includes unanticipated market demand and consumer behavior. Honda did well in the States, as we all know. This success would not have happened without their willingness and foresight to roll with the punches, adapt, overcome, and learn. I've learned more in this course than all of the others combined, I think, and I'm not just trying to schmooze the professor. I know that I'll leave this program a better and more insightful leader. Thank you for the opportunity. I'd like to conclude with a quote that Dr. Roberts provided as part of our conversation. It's from Douglas Hofstadter in Gödel Urscher Bach, An Eternal Golden Braid. No one knows where the borderline between non-intelligent behavior and intelligent behavior lies. In fact, to suggest that a sharp borderline exists is probably silly, but essential abilities for intelligence, good strategy, are certainly to respond to situations very flexibly, to take advantage of fortuitous circumstances, to make sense out of ambiguous or contradictory messages, to recognize the relative importance of different elements of a situation, to find similarities between situations despite differences which may separate them, to draw distinctions between situations despite similarities which may link them, to synthesize new concepts by taking old concepts and putting them together in new ways, to come up with ideas which are novel.